Think beyond traditional business banking. Think a partner that gives you in-depth financial insights.
The pandemic transformed the way most of us work. For many, hybrid work, a blend of in-office and home working, is an anchored reality. A recent survey showed 86% of respondents felt remote working had improved their well-being. Today on Business Matters, we'll explore how work environments are likely to evolve. Tango, thanks very much indeed for talking to us. It seems as though working environments, conditions are still fluid. So COVID came along, changed things, but it's also made things ever-changing, hasn't it?
Yes, COVID did, Devon, become a catalyst for changing the workplace forever. And hybrid, yes, has come in, and it has made spaces fluid and dynamic. And I think it's great because we are challenging ourselves as the workplace and workforce on what actually works for us and where we can be the most productive.
So 3 years later, after all the experiences, is it easier for business to decide whether or not it should move into a hybrid working system? Or are the considerations more complicated than that?
You need to look at the type of business that you are and the service that you offer, because it's not a blanket approach for all businesses. You have to be purposeful in where and when work happens, and also the job roles that can actually work remotely.
There seems to be unique considerations for South Africa when you compare it to the global environment, and that's when businesses are considering remote working. For example, these days, you would have to go to the office just to power up because of load shedding.
Load shedding is a big factor, and it does affect the implementation of hybrid to a degree, because people have found themselves coming into the office purely for the security of connectivity and power being there constantly. And so we have to also, in a South African context, factor that in making a decision on how we want to work and what flexibility or agility we want to offer our staff.
And that brings us to a point when we consider the costs for a business, because it might be very well to say that you would save money having most of your staff work from home as a corporate company, but then there are cost implications elsewhere. So this isn't an easy transition without consideration, is it?
Yes, there are benefits in terms of if you reduce your footprint and office size, you'd be saving on utilities, equipment. But on the other side, you do need to up your business liability, because insurances of people working from home with your equipment, you do need to be insured for that. You do need to be insured for load shedding and also cybersecurity risk. So all of those insurances need to be in place, and that is a cost factor that will come up and increase in terms of what you need to look at from a financial point of view.
Let's talk about disconnecting after hours. It seems as though businesses in the new environment are finding it more difficult to disengage with the employee after working hours, and that's causing some tension, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it is a big challenge. We are a generation that is now constantly tethered between your laptop, mobile devices, smart watches. And because we're always on, it's then difficult to create that boundary of when should I cut off and actually stop working, or when do I stop contacting staff.
Paying attention to what you have to give forward to the tax man is another consideration, because things are very different in terms of tax when you're working from home.
I actually don't think that the employees themselves might be, and possibly the companies and the businesses know from a tax implication what that means. There's a big education drive for ourselves as the employees to actually figure out where those tax implications are, just to be secure and cover ourselves.
Remote work is often seen as beneficial for the employee, but it can also have many benefits for the employer. There's no doubt that it increases a company's ability to hire the most qualified candidate. But it's a give and take for both business and the worker.
This program is in partnership with Nedbank Commercial Banking, a banking partner that thinks bigger to guide your business growth.